So Buxton was founded in 1928 as part of the progressive movement in education. And there are many ways to define what that was, but I would say one of the pillars of progressive education is that the lived experience of students is the most powerful and potent teaching tool we have. That people learn by doing, that people learn from their environment, that people grow up to be full and participatory citizens by living a life as children that allows them to acquire those skills. So we are a school that is intentionally small so that students are living with each other in a way that allows, and in some ways forces them to get to know each other well, to make compromise when necessary, to collaborate in ways both in terms of artistic collaboration, but also in terms of keeping the campus well taken care of. Our students are involved in all aspects of caretaking of the school, from mowing lawns to chopping wood to helping to run their dorms, to bringing problems to the faculty, to helping solve problems themselves. So that is the essence of what Buxton is. We sometimes call it an intentional community. And the intention is to help young people grow up well and to help young people start to feel their power and their effect in a small environment where their power and effect are quite immediate and obvious. And then they will move on to bigger and bigger environments, but will take those skills with them. And that will allow them to have power and effect in larger and larger spheres. So what we began to see, every step of technology changes something, right? And we were able to fold that into our lives. When I first came to Buxton, there weren't even cell phones. So in 25 years, if you think about that, there was like one cell tower in the area and it didn't work very well and nobody had them. And we felt like we could make it work with almost every technological advance until the smartphone. And that's when we started to see, and not immediately, but what we started to see was the students who had truly grown up from maybe age 10 on with this as this major part of their everyday lives. And I mean, their every minute lives, they were increasingly struggling with the demands that a place at Buxton was putting on them, right? So they were struggling to compromise, to be with each other in real time and space, to handle sort of the normal frictions of in-person life. And increasingly, we're using the smartphone as a way to interact with each other, even though they were here together, right? So that felt, first of all, like, that's not what we're here to do. And also, increasingly, there are habits that social media ingrains in people. And those habits run directly counter to the habits Buxton is designed to foster. So we're a community that's meant to help students see the nuance in things, to complicate issues so they're no longer so black and white, but become the shades of gray that all issues truly are, right? We're here to help, it's a very diverse student body, and to help students see where they have points of connection and understanding and can find each other in spite of what are in some cases superficial differences, in some cases profound. What social media asks of people is to judge instantly and harshly, to respond right now to whatever, anything, and to respond in terms that are inflammatory enough that it will cause other people to respond. So it was making it harder and harder for us to lean into nuance. And the other thing that we felt was we were having a hard time with was just that the immediacy of information was also having a detrimental effect on students. And this is what some of the most recent articles about this mental health crisis among kids, there are many culprits that are named, but one of them that isn't directly because of the smartphone, the social media part of it, but is related to it, is that this drip, drip, drip of bad news that kids are getting all day long is also terrible for their mental health. So they're in a community that they can actually affect, but instead what they're getting through their smartphone is news and information about communities that are so far away or so that they have no power or effect over. And it's debilitating. I mean, it's true for us too, as adults, that you can only take so much of this sort of terrible news that you're powerless to affect. So for all those reasons, over time, we've been circling around this issue for a long time. We finally decided, you know what, we've got to preserve what we do and what we have. And it's clear to us that this particular tool is hurting our project.